Kiddha, Vijinder Singh. What's going on, guys? So, Vijinder Singh, right? He's starting to make some noise in boxing, and for the first time, I've just sat down and actually watched him. I'm quite surprised how good he is. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest. I didn't expect him to be this good. But with Vijinder Singh, right? He's got a country behind him. He's got the whole of India behind him, and there seems to I get a lot of press releases from Box Nation, Frank Warren's crew, and whenever they're sending me stuff, they send a lot of stuff regarding Vijinder Singh, and they're pumping a lot of money into him, and they're quite hyped about him. You look at the promotional aspect of Vijinder Singh, there's so much hype behind him. It's because he's got a country behind him, and India's usually known for cricket. They're not really known for any other sport, but they've got a fighter now in boxing. So to me, I think that's pretty amazing, because Indian media, you know how they can hype someone up, like really hype someone up. And look, man, this guy, right, I heard he's fighting at 160, right, but he's actually, I've just searched it on BoxRec, and he's actually, BoxRec are rating him at super middleweight, so I think he's fighting at super middleweight. I'm not really sure how you find out on BoxRec, but look, man, super middleweight, he's not going to be a world champion, right, because he's fighting bums at the moment anyway, right, but look, he can't be a world champion because who's he going to go beat? Is he going to go super middleweight, right? And even if he moves down to middleweight, 160, is he going to go beat... Let's just look at the 168 division, right? You got James DeGale, Badou Jack, Ramirez, you got Andre Durrell, you got George Groves, Callum Smith, Arthur Abraham, Felix Sturm, and you got Shudanov in there. You know, and then the tail starts, right? You look at middleweight, right? If he moves down, and I think he can cut a bit of weight, right? And I think he should be fine at middleweight. I don't think he is a super middleweight. Who's he going to beat there? Saul Alvarez is not fighting at middleweight anymore, right? So, but he might campaign at 155, I don't know. But, I mean, what's he going to do? Go beat Gennady Golovkin and become a world champion? Daniel Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, David Lemieux, Andy Lee, Peter Quillin. And let me just name you another fighter, Chris Eubank Jr., you know? Got Daniel Gill in there, maybe. And then, you know, but... You gotta, to become a world champion, right, in one of these divisions, you gotta beat some pretty solid fighters. I mean, at 154 pounds, you got the Charlo brothers. You know, he's not making that sort of weight. He's 160/168, I'm hearing. So for me, with this Vijinder Singh, he's a good fighter, right? He's technically okay, but he's better than what I thought he would be before I saw him. I like his footwork. I think he's got a decent amount of power, but the thing is, I don't think he's going to necessarily have a bad chin, because usually when a fighter has a bad chin, you hear about rumours in the amateurs, and I've not heard anything about that. And also with Vijinder Singh, he's not as fast, and his structure doesn't look like he's got a bad chin. And sometimes when a fighter has loads of speed, they've got decent power, you know, and they're ticking all boxes, you're thinking, whoa, this guy's really good. Chances are sometimes they're the fighters that usually come out with a bit of a bad chin, because they've not got a very steady chin, because no fighter ticks 10 in every single box, you know. And if they do, and they're close to ticking a 10 in every box, then chances are usually, right, they're gonna lack somewhere, and it could very well be the chin department. But I'm jumping the gun here, right? It's a bit of a, can't really make them sort of comments this stage. You might have a bad chin, I don't know. But the thing is with Vijinder Singh, right? He's technically pretty good. He's a bit basic. He is a bit straight up and down. He hasn't really got too many tricks. He's got okay fundamentals, but the thing is, he lacks in fundamentals as well. He's good at fundamentals, but he lacks in the fundamentals. Like certain fundamentals he's good in, but then other fundamentals he's pretty bad in. I mean, he's not fluid. He's not a fluid boxer. And I think maybe that's because growing up over here in the UK and US, right, we're just taught to throw hands, whether you're a boxer or you're not, right? Every guy has not every guy, but most guys have some sort of an idea how to throw hands. You have fights in high school, and what do you do, man? You clench your fist. We were brought up with boxing, and you throw punches. In certain countries like India, it's not brought up. You're not brought up like that. I mean, what do? They slap and they wrestle and stuff, right? And they're not really necessarily one-on-one fighters as such. So. Like that in that sense technically, but I mean, so he's, you know, when you've got that, and I've noticed this, right, when you get people from them sort of countries, right, they lack, and it's very difficult to embed a natural fluid style in them, in several things, because they've got like a certain way they go about things, and you can kind of see it in Vijinder Singh. I mean, when you look at him, he doesn't look like a traditional boxer would look, if that makes sense. The way he throws his punches, it's not like as fluid. He takes his time when he throws his punches. He's got a nice defense. And I do like Vijinder Singh. I think he's a good little fighter. I think he's pretty good. but I think that I don't know. There's something that lacks with him in terms of fluidity, and he's not fluid in his punches. And in the divisions he's in, whether that's 160 or 168, they're very stacked divisions, especially 168. I mean, he's gonna have to. If he can't beat Eubank and Billy Joe Saunders, then he can't become a world champion. You know, let alone facing the elite of the elite in that division. Oh, we're not gonna mention him in the same breath as you know who, but you know, well, might as well Gennady Golovkin. But you know, and if Canelo moves up to 160 eventually, you know, it's just not gonna happen. I mean, Canelo's fighting at 155 right now, but you know, Vijinder Singh is in a division which is just gonna be too difficult for him, and he's gonna be overwhelmed. He's a good fighter, and he's got a country behind him, which is really good because I'd love to see boxing spread in India, because it's a bit annoying as well because the fans from them countries are a bit stupid. I mean, if you type Vijinder Singh in YouTube, you get Vijinder Singh versus Mayweather, Vijinder Singh versus Amir Khan, which, you know, that speaks for itself when he's fighting in these sort of weight classes. So leave your comments in the section below. I know Amir Khan called out Vijinder Singh one time, or mentioned him at least, but I think he's a good fighter. I think he's good for boxing. I think India's got behind him, and I like him. I hope he does well. He's got good fundamentals. I'd like to see a bit more fluidity in his motion. He's got a good amateur pedigree. In the pro ranks, he needs to... I don't know what he needs to do. I don't know. It's a bit... Let me just think, right? In the pro ranks, what I change with Vijinder Singh? I would try to make his jab a lot more fluid. I think he's got a decent jab. It's stiff, but it's not fluid. I'd like to see a bit more head movement. I'd like to see him loosen up. I like to see him loose when he throws a punch, not clench his entire body, right? When he throws that punch, I like to see him loosen. I'd like to develop his arsenal of punches a little bit. I'd like to see a bit more head movement. I'd like to see his defense covering up with his... he covers up well, but I like to see a bit more defense coming from his waistline, you know, coming from his torso and moving his body a little bit more light-footed. I think he is a bit flat-footed. So yeah, these are the things that he needs to improve on. But I mean, he's 31 years old as well, so he hasn't got too long to improve, and he hasn't got too long to mix up with the best. I think within the next year or two, you're going to see him step up divisions quick, and you're going to see him step up levels quick. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see Vijinder Singh and how he develops as a fighter. But I mean, if he moves up weight class, who's he going to face there? Ward and Kovalev? So, you know, you hope you get where I'm going with this. It's very difficult in these sort of divisions to be elite. In today's day and age, you can't be semi-good. You've got to be very good. Comment section below, subscribe as always. Vijinder Singh, that's my take on the whole thing. In a bit, guys.